like, ugh, I'm throwing up. I'm having a contraction on the toilet. You guys, as I'm throwing up, I hear a pop, 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 pop. And the water just gushes out into the toilet. My water freaking breaks. And I start crying. Because I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know how long you have between the time your water breaks to get to the hospital. But with the intensity of my contractions, I knew the baby was on her freaking way. Like, there was no avoiding it. So Jacob hops out of bed. My mom comes running up the stairs. I'm like, everybody's like, call your midwife, call your midwife. I'm distraught. I'm on the toilet puking. You guys are talking about some call the midwife. Like, you know the password to my phone. You call the midwife. I just called it. It's the last number I dialed. This man is like scrambling, can't open the phone. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is too much stress for me. So I unlock the phone. I call the midwife. I'm like, I'm in labor. My water broke. I'm crying. And then she's like, okay. And that's what pisses me off too. Like, I'm in freaking panic. This bitch is on the phone like, okay, well, I'm gonna call the hospital and let them know that you're coming, and then I'll see you there. Okay, I'll meet you there. So I'm like, okay. I get off the phone with her. Remember, the first call I made was at 8:39. This call I made to her was at 10:05. Okay, so not even an hour and a half between those two calls, and my water had broken. So because my water broke, I'm like, okay, we gotta book it to the hospital. So we're packing up our stuff. Well, I already had my stuff packed. We're grabbing all our stuff to put in the car. I'm scrambling. I'm saying bye to Salem, and I'm having contractions as I'm walking down my stairs. I'm having contractions as I'm getting into my car. Like, the contractions would not stop at this point. They just kept coming and coming and coming like damn Energizer Bunny, and I could not handle it. And so we're sitting in the car now. I pull out my phone and I record this video. It's, what is that, 8:22? 8:18? What time is it?
That is
8 or 9? 8:22. So I've been struggling.
It's 10 o'clock at night.
10:18. I've been struggling all day with these contractions. Everybody's like, call your midwife. I'm like, listen, she's gonna tell me some bullshit. Nobody wants to listen to me. So I call her anyway. And then she tells me about take Gravol and Tylenol, because I'm like, how the hell do I deal with the pain? Because this is not my first baby. Like, I know what the contractions feel like. So I get off the phone with her because she's basically saying like my contractions need to be closer together, but I'm explaining to this bitch that they're sporadic, but they're also lasting longer than a minute. So it doesn't even matter if they're 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Either way, they're there and they're painful as like I was feeling like I was at that stage where the doctors came in the last time and asked me if I want to take the epidural or not. So I'm there trying to lay down. I'm way past resting. You cannot rest when you feel like this. So I'm laying in the bed and I'm feeling nauseous as hell, like I'm gonna throw up. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get out of the bed, and I'm literally in the middle of a contraction, so I can't get up until it passed. I finally muster up enough strength to go to the bathroom so that I can throw up not in my bed. And I start throwing up in a plastic bag in the bathroom, and all of a sudden there's this big pop, like my water broke. And so now we're in the car on our way. I had to call my midwife, and this is why I'll never do midwife again, because from the time I started feeling these contractions, if I didn't have a midwife, I would have just went to the hospital from time. But if you have a midwife, you're supposedly supposed to call first. Oh my god. But my contractions have been so freaking painful, and like I was like, what the why the hell wouldn't I be in the hospital right now getting a freaking epidural or something to alleviate the pain? Like, really? Tylenol for contractions? Like, what do they think this is? I was so mad when I got off the phone with her the first time. I'm like, is this bitch crazy? It's fucking dumb bitch. Literally, between the time that I got off the phone with her and the time that my water broke was, how long was that, babe? Ooh, I don't know either, but it was not long. I'll check the call times after and insert them in the video. But so yeah, we're in the car. I'm recording on my phone because I couldn't find my vlogging camera in the bag, but it's in there. Anyway, it is May 5th at 10:22, so it looks like
on Meek's birthday for sure.
Yeah, it looks like my prediction was right, and I know you guys are shook. So hopefully when I get to the hospital, there's no problems with me getting my epidural right away. I cannot bear this pain any longer. I've been bearing it all fucking day, like all day. My contractions started at 7:30 this morning, and it's 10 p.m. at night. It's 10:21. So
14 hours.
I've been in labor for a very long time, and who knows how far along I am right now. I actually hopped in the shower because there was when I guess when my water broke, the bloody show came out. So I lost my mucus plug last night, and then today.
Thanks to me. Don't discredit me.
Okay. And then today I got bloody show once my water broke. But it's so crazy because they had to break my water the last time. I never broke my water naturally. So I guess the pressure from me throwing up at the same time as me sitting on the toilet just broke it. It's a good thing I was on the toilet, but there's vomit everywhere in my bathroom, like, even though I was vomiting in the bag. And all I taste is hummus. It's disgusting. Where are you going? So,
came downstairs with eyelashes. Stupid.
Whatever.
Like, why is that her go-to grab for, like, we're putting towels in the car, packing bags, you grab a fucking pack of eyelashes.
Hell, man. Oh, hurry up and pass. Oh my god. Sorry about the darkness. Anyway, I don't feel like recording anymore because my head's starting to spin, so I will see you when I see you. So once we get to the hospital, I go to the maternity ward, and they basically turned my ass right. First of all, I'm in a wheelchair because I literally couldn't walk. My contractions were so intense. So I'm in a wheelchair. Shooter's pushing me. They're like, oh, you have a midwife? Your midwife's gonna meet you and check you at triage. I almost fucking lost it. I said, what are you talking about? I'm in labor. My water has broken. What do you mean she's gonna check me in triage? Like, what? So they take my ass out of the maternity ward, bring me into like some like little room that my midwife is supposed to meet me in, and I'm waiting for my midwife. She doesn't take long to show up, but the fact of the matter is the bitch should have been there before I was there, and she was not. So she comes. I am already undressed on the bed because I'm waiting for her, and she's all smiling, happy to see me. Like, bitch, are you crazy? You told me to take 2 Tylenol and 2 Gravol and sleep off labor pains. So anyway, I'm laying on the bed. She sticks her hand up my coochie and she pulls it out and she is like, yeah, you're about 9 centimeters. I bawled my eyes out. I bawled. I said 9 centimeters. I said, does that mean I'm not gonna get my epidural? She's like, we're gonna try and get it for you. Bitch knew damn well I was not getting no fucking epidural. And that's what pisses me off, you know? Like, when I think about it, I'm like, that really pissed me off, because just be real. Just be like, honestly, you're 9 centimeters. You're probably not gonna get it. Not probably. You're not gonna get it. The epidural guy wasn't even in the building. He was not there. Like, they were calling to find him. He was MIA, bitch. Like, he wasn't there. So I didn't know that at the time. Shooter was telling me. So they're like scrambling, trying to get me checked into the hospital and all this stuff. Now there's 2 midwives. So there's my main midwife, and then there's a lady, another midwife that's there to help her out with the birth. When I gave birth to Salem, there's literally like 20 people in that delivery room. I had a OBGYN. And then I delivered at a learning hospital, so there was like students, and then there was lots of nurses, and there was just a bunch of people in the room, and like you feel safe. With this situation, it was me, it was Shooter, my bags, and 2 midwives. That was it. No nurses, nothing. So like I said, 2 midwives, me, Shooter, and my bags. That's who was in the room. So I see the 2 midwives scrambling, running back and forth to get like my drip and all kinds of stuff. They're doing the most. She's putting the IV in me, and that was so that I could get a little bit of the medicine, the penicillin that I was supposed to get because I'm GBS positive. So they're scrambling to do all this stuff, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed in shambles. I'm in pain. I'm sitting there. My midwife keeps talking to me and pissing me off because she's asking me if I feel like I need to push. I said, how the f am I supposed to know if I feel like I need to push? She's like, well, if you feel like you need to push, just go ahead, and you know. I'm like, you're not even at my bedside. What are you talking about push? Like, what? Like, I'm just supposed to, like, what? Like, you guys, I was so frustrated. I wanted to kill her. I wanted to literally just strangle her like Homer Simpson and Bart. Like, I was so mad. She keeps talking to me, and then she kept pissing me off, and I was like, I don't know. Like, shut up. Like, I was so mad. Like, usually I think that frustration goes towards your significant other, but not me, bitch. I'm gonna take it out on who's pissing me off, because Shooter may have put me in the situation because he got me pregnant, but he is not asking me dumb questions right now. Like, seriously. So all now they're doing all kinds of, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed in so much pain. I have no epidural. They've given me laughing gas, but it does nothing for me, and I knew that from the last time. So I'm taking the laughing gas, but I'm just like, all it does is kind of like make your head kind of feel high. Like, it takes the smallest edge off. It doesn't really help you. Some people like it. Like, I was talking to my cousin. She had a baby recently too, and she was saying she loved the laughing gas, but I'm like, nah, it does nothing for me. These babies are extremely painful. She kept reiterating to me, if you feel like you need to push, just push.
Are they slowing down? You're having a break from them, or?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Lots of,
Lots of fluid? Okay, we'll get a pattern and repeat this.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Edward. You're doing awesome.
Oh.
Are you feeling all of that in your bum?
Uh-huh.
Feeling like you want to push or?
I don't.
Okay. I just have to load you up with some fluid before we can have the epidural. It's part of the process. So that your blood pressure doesn't drop and it doesn't affect the baby. So we're going to run it full and get it in as fast as possible, and I'm going to try and get everything else done. But if you're feeling pressure in your bum, now I'm going to get the epidural trolley, the drugs, and I'm going to find out where the endometriosis is. Okay? Okay. And I'm also going to get your meds for your strep B. Because even if we can give you just like even a little bit of them, that would be better than nothing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you this is the call bell. She starts feeling like she has to push and I'm not in her. You just hit the bell, okay?
Ow.
Yeah, I'll wait for this one.
Oh my God. I don't know, Joanne.
Okay.
Oh.
So I can take a big poop?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. But you're not actually like pushing yet.
No, I'm not pushing.
Okay, I'm gonna run up the doors open.
How long is that kettle film without us?
28 minutes.
I'm gonna hold her in for 50 more minutes. You wanted to have meetings per day. You want a prediction to come true? That's the nurses from last time were like calmer.
She by herself.
She smells like a fever one.
Fuck. sleep. Fuck.
Sleep?
Yeah, I'm so tired.
We're gonna sleep with the baby's coming.
Epidural slows your labor. Please don't leave this in Mr. Man.
So she doesn't want you to take it?
Huh?
She doesn't want you to take it?
No, she didn't. What do you mean? Why would she not want me? Sorry? Why would she want me to use it?
Same reason she didn't want you to come to our last minute.
She's gonna go find it. How are you doing?
Yes, please, Suzanne. Yeah. So he's going to come as soon as he can. He's got something else he's in the middle of doing, and then he'll come. But that's, I mean, we've talked to him, and we're getting everything ready. So what we should probably do is check you again in a few minutes and just see how things are coming along.
I don't think we're gonna make.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think so Sabrina, can
I just keep peeing.
Yeah, let me check you again. So Suzanne, we're gonna got the acupuncture on the side. He's not in the system yet.
Yeah, no, I think he.
So, okay.
Yeah, we'll see what if she's fully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Very pushy, but. Okay. Well, you did a good job getting all that stuff done. My God, I don't think I could have done that fast.
running like.
Good for you.
Okay, can I get you back on the bed? And we'll just check you if you need some celery.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, I don't think you need to check me.
You don't think so? Okay, then, but to have your baby, oh, we got a big puddle.
Yeah.
To have your baby, you're gonna have to not sit on
I
your
know,
bum.
I know.
Okay.
Are you feeling it back there?
Yeah, just wait.
This one's gone long and fluid, maybe, but we can not do it, baby. This is the first fluid I've seen.
Yeah. Could be she was saying she's keeping too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Alright.
Sorry.
Okay, so the head's right there.
Okay, take it out, please take
Please,
it out.
you've got a little bit of a lip, but that's better.
Yeah,
so-
probably can get pushed out of the way.
It could be, yeah.
I'm gonna
I
go
actually
grab a
think-
sheet of paper so that
okay.
you have to really start.
I actually think that the fluid's clear. I thought maybe there was meconium in it, but I just looked at what's all over here and I think it's like just urine that's like, so. Let's have a listen into your baby. We've only done that once since we've been here so far.
So you felt the head when she's fully dilated?
Pardon?
Yeah, she passed fully dilated? Or?
She has got just, oh right, sorry guys. So you have just a little tiny bit of cervix at the front that slips over the baby's head. So if you felt like pushing, I think we could just push it right out of the way and have a baby. So yeah, fully dilated. Almost. With a smidge of cervix, but it's not really, with someone who's had a baby before, it's not really significant. Most of the time it just moves right out of the way when she bears down. Okay. Beautiful. Baby feels awesome. So the head's not super low. Okay. But just a little lip of cervix to the front. But I couldn't get all the way in the back. But there's enough head there. I'm convinced that there's no cervix.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Perfect. You're cold. You can get your warm blanket. You want a warm blanket? Okay. I'll go do that. Perfect. So, this baby sounds great. Let me get your warm blanket. You don't have to lay on your back. You can get up. You can walk around. You can do whatever feels comfy. Okay. Do you want the gas back? Is that helping at all? Alright,
So she comes over, she checks my cervix, and she's like, I think she said she could feel the head, but there's a little piece of cervix covering it, but like I could probably push it out the way myself. So as I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, I start thinking to myself, and I'm like, I'm having this baby natural, and I'm trying to psych myself out, and I'm like telling myself, like, you're gonna just have to bite the bullet and push this baby out yourself because you're not getting the epidural. And it's funny because a couple weeks before I went into labor, I started thinking about my birthing plan and epidural and stuff, and for some reason I kept getting like this feeling like when I get the epidural it's gonna paralyze me. And if you've been following my pregnancy, for whatever reason, when I'm pregnant, I'm like super duper psychic. And like I have dreams that kind of come to life. And even actually, what's funny is even now that I'm not pregnant, I'm still very in tune with my instincts, and I'm having dreams that are coming to life. So for a few weeks before I was actually due, I kept getting like this feeling like something's gonna go wrong with my epidural and that I'm not supposed to have it. But obviously when you're in labor, all that shit gets kicked out the window, bitch. You're like, I need drugs and I need them now. So I think in my heart I knew that I wasn't supposed to have it, so that's why I was sitting on the edge of the bed and telling myself, like, this is how it's supposed to be. You might be mad, you might be angry, you might really feel like you need it, but you're going to have to do it without it. I'm thinking like the worst of the worst at this point, because even though I'm thinking, okay, you're gonna get paralyzed with the epidural, I'm also thinking in these moments that I'm having a baby naturally that I'm gonna die during labor. And it's the scariest thing ever, but when you're in that much pain, you don't know what to think. I end up propping up myself on the bed, or I don't know if Shooter helped me, I don't know if the midwife, I don't know who helped me, but I end up in the lay down position, because at this point they don't have me laying down in the bed. Like with Salem, they had me laying down. With this pregnancy, I was sitting on the edge of the bed. And then what happened was, after she had checked my cervix that time, and I was sitting up again, I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm pissing on myself. There's just pee coming out of me, and I have no control over my bodily functions. And I'm like, okay, it's getting real. Like, I'm probably gonna have to give birth naturally, like I said. So this is when I started telling myself, like, you have to do this. So I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. There's just piss dripping down my leg, and I'm terrified at this point. Why does this thing keep focusing on the wrong thing. There we go. So I'm like terrified at this point, and I lay down and I start to push because I realize that pushing is going to take the pain away, even though it's going to cause more pain in the moment. It's still going to make, like, your contractions hurt more than anything. So I knew that if I pushed a little bit, the pain would sort of subside. So I push to get that little cervix piece out the way, and then I just kept pushing every time I got a contraction. So I'm pushing, her head, I guess I start to crown, and the midwife is asking me if I want to touch it. Girl, bye. Like, no, I don't want to touch her head right now. I just want to get her out of me. She's like, do you want to feel? And I'm like, no, I want to give birth. Like, I know some moms are out here touching, but I don't need to do that. I just want her to come out. I'm not like, what? So, like I said, she was irritating me the whole time. I was so mad. So, I keep pushing, and I don't know at what point, my body started to give up. I don't remember if it was once her shoulders were out, which, listen, the ring of fire is real. If ever you decide that you're going to give birth naturally, and those shoulders are coming out of you, good luck. Okay? Good luck. That shit hurt. It hurt. I don't know how to explain the pain. I can't explain it. It's literally something you have to experience. It's not, and I don't want to scare you, okay, from having a baby, because this experience really traumatized me, and I feel like if I have to go through that again, I don't know that I want to do that, because you guys know I'm very vocal with how many children I want. I do want 4 kids, but I'm okay with giving birth only 3 times and adopting one. But at this point, I might adopt 2 more. I might adopt 2 instead, because I don't know that I could physically do that. I would love to carry again. Carrying is the fun part in the 2nd trimester. Once you get to the 3rd trimester and your coochie lips start hurting and your vagina starts looking like freaking a roast beef sandwich, like, that's when it gets ugly, and your back hurts and stuff. Like, that's the downside to it, and the sickness, and there's lots of downsides to pregnancy. There really is, but you get such a nice reward in the end. So it's hard to juggle, like, you know. But maybe I just need a few years off. I don't know. But let me get back to the story. Like I said, she asked me if I want to touch. I'm like, no, I just want the baby out. So I keep pushing, and for whatever reason, my body stops giving me contractions. And so we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting some more, and I'm not getting a contraction, and I need to get the baby out. So the midwife is like, and you'll hear this in the clip, the midwife is like, okay, well, just give me a push anyway, because everybody was kind of just waiting for me to push some more, because I was doing the whole thing on my own. I wasn't pushing. So she's like, yeah, just give me a push anyway. And so as I was kind of trying to force the baby out, pushing, because it makes no sense to push if you're not having contraction. Like, then you're not going to do anything. It's ineffective. So I was pushing even though I wasn't having a contraction, and then because of that, a contraction started. I guess my body just decided, like, this is too much work, like, I can't continue on. And so the baby was sitting there, she wasn't making a sound, and I was sitting or laying there in pain, obviously. Jacob said I was making the most ugly faces ever, and I know I was, because I could feel it. But it hurts, okay? You're gonna be making some ugly ass faces during delivery. Like, I totally get why you would go with a beat face, but delivery is so messy. The last thing on my mind is fucking makeup. Like, that's so stupid to me, I swear. My body gives up, and I keep pushing, and then I get a contraction, and I push, and eventually the baby comes out. The catch is that her umbilical cord, and if you remember, I had a dream about the umbilical cord mermaid thing. Her umbilical cord was wrapped around her body, and she, being the freaking super baby that she is, she felt it wrapped around her, and she was coming out, I think, with her face, I think she was coming out with her head down, so her face was towards like where the ground would be, and her umbilical cord was wrapped around her body, and to get out of it, she did like some spin move, and she ended up coming out with her face upwards towards the ceiling after, because she was trying to untangle herself from the umbilical cord. And my umbilical cord actually had a knot in it, and this is what happened. This only happens in 1 or 2% of births. So my child is extremely special, and in the end, I would say it's all worth it, but the whole entire thing was scary for me. Like, I couldn't even believe that her umbilical cord was wrapped around her body and that she untangled it herself, but because of that, she ended up tying a knot in it. The cord was so long and so thick. I'm gonna insert a picture of my placenta. The placenta was just about as big as the baby. When they weighed that baby and told me that she was 9 pounds and 9 ounces, I said, bitch, what? First of all, I didn't feel like I gained a lot of weight during this pregnancy. So when they told me she was 9 pounds and 9 ounces, I was stunned. And I'm like, I just pushed out a 9-pound baby out of my hoo-ha? Are you serious? And of course I tore again, but I didn't tear front to back, thank you, Jesus. I tore on the inside and on the same side that I tore with Salem. So it basically just reopened that same stitch or that same area. The doctor or my midwife was like, it'll probably just be like 1 or 2 stitches. Like, it can heal up on its own, or like, do you want me to do the sutures? And I'm like, stitch it up, please. Like, what are you talking about? It'll close up on its own. Like, do the stitches now. Okay, because I know anytime they say 1 or 2, it's really like 7 or 8, and I wasn't here for the shenanigans, so I made her stitch me up, and of course it was more than 2. And I knew that because when I got the scar on my arm, they told me the same thing, 1 or 2, and it ended up being 6. I was not happy. So the baby was out. I was in a way better mood. My vagina was burning, but my baby was there and she was healthy, and they ended up having to keep me for 24 hours because, one, I didn't get the antibiotics before birth. So they wanted to monitor me and the baby, and because the baby was so freaking big, they wanted to make sure she didn't have any issues. I guess like gestational diabetes. I didn't have gestational, so that was, I guess, a concern that the baby was so big and she was above average. But what's funny is, so because she's 9 pounds 9 ounces at birth, I thought that she would weigh a lot more than Salem as the time went on, but she lost some of her birth weight, then she got it back. But I compared her, like her size versus Salem's size at 2 months in a picture. Salem was a little sumo wrestler, okay? She was so big, and Bellamy is really heavy, but she's not nearly as fat as Salem was when she was 2 months. So I'm waiting to see if she'll gain more, and I wonder if it's because she's on formula and breast milk. But that's basically what happened, and the situation was really traumatizing for me. Like, literally, I couldn't talk about it without crying. I couldn't think about it without crying. I still get upset about it because it was just so much pain, and it just wasn't what I expected. And maybe I'm not supposed to have 4 kids, and God was trying to let me know, like, if you want 4 kids, this is what you're gonna have to do every time, or your babies are only gonna get bigger, okay? I don't know. I don't really know what the future holds, but I can tell you right now, delivering a 9-pound baby without any drugs is not a good time. It's not a party. It's not a kiki. It is scary. Like, your mind is going a million miles a minute during labor, and honestly, you would be crazy to have another baby. With that said, I want you guys to know that I am expecting again. No, I'm fucking not. Skinty, minty, okay? There is no baby in here, okay? No. I need, like, if I'm gonna get pregnant again, I need, like, at least 2 years off. I'm not having any babies past 30, that's for sure. I'm 27, so, whoo, girl. But honestly, it really scarred me, and I don't know that I keep saying, like, if I do have another baby, I'm probably gonna either get a surrogate or, like, I'm just gonna have to adopt, because I don't know that I can physically push out another child. I would love to have a son one day, but I just don't know. Like, it really put things into perspective for me. It's a really, really scary thing to put your body through, and I think it's cool that I got to experience with drugs and without drugs, but, like, I'm not some science experiment. Like, I wasn't trying to experience no drug birth. Like, I just no, okay? It's not like I gave birth to, like, a 6-pound baby, 4-pound baby, like, too much, way too much. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the footage from my delivery, and yeah, I love you all, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.
But everything looked like it was parting and opening. So, yeah, you're doing great. You sure you don't want to share?
I stand for a living. I
Hmm?
stand for a living.
Oh, do you? Okay. You're better off. Okay? So what I want you to try and do is just nice, slow, deep breaths with it, okay? Just so we can do it as slowly as we can, alright? And then we're going to have, baby, do you want the baby coming right up, skin to skin? Okay, then this actually just rips it like, you can pop that.
Hurts. Oh my God. Ow.
No, it's okay though. Okay, Sabrina. Alright, you're doing beautifully. Your baby's hair is, you want to feel?
No.
Okay. head will be born, okay?
Okay.
And then the rest of it will just come right out, okay? Oh, you're doing so great. You're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff with this kid's hair already. Okay, let this leg open if you can. Make space for the baby. Good work.
It's so bad. Oh my God, I feel it.
Come on,
Ow, I'm
Yeah.
pushing out.
Okay. Keep going. Let this leg drop open. A little more push. Give me a bit more. Okay. That's forward.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just wait for the next one. Alright, so, now, okay, so give me a push anyway, just a little push. Okay. Are you getting one? No? Okay. Or try and have your baby go. I'll give me a big push.
Bigger push than that.
Are you having contractions?
No.
Okay.
Now I am.
Okay, now go. Now go.
Ooh.
Good.
Please.
Turning.
Please.
Good Lord.
Oh my God. Girly boy.
There you go.
Oh my goodness! Would you want to look?
Oh, Suzanne.
Daddy,
Look what we've got.
Oh, a true knot.
Yeah.
Look it, Dad. There. Did you tell her?
It's a boy?
No, it's a girl.
He said girl or boy, and they all stopped. I'm like, is there something going on here?
There we go.
Oh, just like this.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you are a chunky little American.
She is a good size.
Hi.
Oh, God. Here's your shot of oxytocin. Bleeding.
Pooped on her way out.
She, the baby? Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry. I know, eh?
Oh, hi.
Look at her. She's gorgeous. Look at her. She's already got the chubs on her. She's amazing.
You totally. She restituted posterior. She came out
Hi,
like,
Pumpkin.
I know, she can barely show when she wanted to roll.
I know.
Oh well.
She come out upside down. Is that what that means?
She came out, and then instead of turning
I've
like
seen her turning
to
her
the
head as
side,
she's
she
halfway up.
ended up turning so her
I'm a little football player.
she actually turned her back towards
Oh, you're so
the front.
chunky monkey.
Anyways, yeah.
She's so cute.
You've got, and you have this. You actually have a
Same
knot in the
nose.
cord,
Mm-hmm.
which is like a true knot. I'll show it to you later. It's kind of unusual.
Yeah?
It's a nice, juicy, fat cord, but it's just actually got a proper knot in it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why did that happen? Or just
Because the
she's
body
twisting and
flip
turning?
on her way out.
She must have just like knotted herself at one point, because that's, I mean, that's the only way the cord would get knotted is if the baby.
She's big as hell.
Yeah.
She's actually really big. How big was your last one?
8'5".
I think she's bigger.
She's got to seem awfully long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she would be really close.
Yeah.
Hi, Mama.
There you
Oh
go.
my
Hi, Mama.
goodness.
What are you doing? Going to sleep? You're here now. Wake up, man. There's no blood this time. Last time she had like a waterfall of blood. The doctors had to stitch her back up.
Get you to, well, she may have some. Can I get you to lift your bum for a second?
Oh, yeah, there is.
There's a bit of blood, but there's blood mixed in with
fluid mixed in with.
Yeah.
Probably. Does she have a name?
Oh, Bellamy.
Bellamy. Oh my goodness. Bellamy, you have so much hair. It's crazy. When her hair was coming out, it was so much hair. Bellamy is this little girl's name.
Oh my goodness, nice. Does that come from somebody in the family or?
Just made up.
He just liked it, eh?
We're throwing out B names, and you
Yeah.
said that one.
Yeah.
I think it means beautiful friend in
Yeah.
Spanish or something.
French.
French.
Wow, okay. That's nice.
Bellamy.
That's a really
Yeah,
nice
that is a
name.
nice meaning. Always cool when they have something. I'm gonna just do a set of vitals on you. How are you doing, little pumpkin?
She's good. She's just wheezing a little.
That's okay. She didn't have a lot of squeezy time. You still, if you're feeling some cramping, you're probably your placenta's probably getting ready to go.
Yeah.
It's over here, okay? Hey there, you. Where's your... Oh, hang
Where are you
on.
going?
You gotta go the other way. We need your belly button. We need your... Not your belly button, but we need your cord. You're all wrapped up here. How is this possible? Where is your... There you go. Quite thick, so you're gonna have to, like,
Put
be
some
a bit...
effort into it.
Yeah.
I want to touch your fingers.
Enough. Yeah, please don't. There we
There
go.
we go.
Who's that beside mom?
Hey, baby doll.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Take off her shoes.
She doesn't know there's a baby there.
She does. She's going right to her. Salem, careful.
Your sister? Oh, she's like,
Careful, mama.
Hey, baby here, mom?
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
That's your
is
sister,
that your
mama?
sister?
Say, ma.
I'm not holding her.
Give her.
She's
She's on the baby. Give her kisses, mama.
I showed her the picture and that's immediately what she did.
That's your sister. Don't smush her.
I can't. She's big. Big.
Huge.
Hi, Munchie.
It's a real baby. You
Here,
just want to
here,
throw
baby.
I
You
think
record,
I
you
missed
record,
that
'cause I
shot.
can't.
When she touched her arm, pull her hand back.
Don't wake her up, mama. Girl.
Here, watch her,
That's
babe.
Bellamy. That's Bellamy.
It's your sister.
Baby Belle.
She's pushing really hard.
Salem. That's your sister. I missed you.
Look how big she is compared to the baby.
Look at that mark where she pushed on her.
I'm so scared and nervous.
She's holding her hand.
She's inspecting her? Or what? What are you doing, mama? Careful, she's delicate. You have to be gentle.
Kiss her. Kiss her. You want to kiss your sister? Yeah. Now really she start to be protective. Want to kiss her? You can't
Oh my
hold her.
gosh.
No, she's got her.
I know
she's
she does.
tight, too tight.
Oh my god.
You holding your sister?
Oh, God.
You want a picture, babe?
It's not a picture, it's a video.
So,
Oh, yeah. Oh, kiss her.
sister.
So precious. Congrats. She's going to be feeding her. You
She's
can't
never
leave
seen
her
a
for
baby.
1 second. Yeah. Oh. Do it again. It's so nice. She don't like when you do it.
Nice. Ma.
Don't touch her face.
Oh, look where her hand
I
is.
know.
Is your sister? Yeah. She said no. Isn't that
She's kissing her. Oh my god, Salem, you're so nice.
Oh, she's smushing.
squishing her? She's squishing. She's hugging her, squishing. Let me take her. Let me take her. You gonna kiss her?
So I'm not having it.
Aww. Salem is overwhelming with me the way she's in
So
love with her
loving.
sister
I
already.
know.
Aww. She's
Yes?
your sister?
You like
Yeah.
her?
There's a lot of heaviness in my arms
I
right now.
know.
Yeah. Let me take
Salem's
it.
27 pounds. And the baby's
Let me
9
take
pounds.
it. Oh my gosh.
Oh. You talking to her?
Yeah. Bellamy saying, what kind of crazy house is this on me? Oh, I wonder.
Oh my God, Salem, you're so nice. Hi, I missed you. Yeah, your sister.
So empathy, Justin.
Oi, 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 oi. Oh,
big
yeah.
hugs, big hugs.
What can she look
Take those big hugs.
Bellamy. Not so hard. Sit. She won't take it
I
herself.
know.
It's not.
You're so dramatic, Salem. Don't push that.